Hi, and welcome to our schedule 12 days of reflection to Christmas. Today is the fourth day counting down, and every day since Sunday gone, we've been having special persons on to give their take on 2020. What are their views, reflecting on how it has been for them, what are the takeaways, and what values they would like to take into 2021. This evening, we have distinguished Toastmaster Jassy Ambrose. Jassy is the area director for Area 32, and he's going to give his take, his reflection this evening on what 2020 has been like for him. So right away, I'd like to bring Jassy into the spotlight and say, welcome, Jassy, and the spotlight is yours.
Good evening to everyone. Good evening, Madam Division Director. Good evening to all watching. It is a pleasure for me to be here this evening to share my reflections for 2020 with you guys this evening. I'd like to start by thanking God for life, health, and strength for allowing me, and I am assuming everyone watching live, to be able to make it to the 21st day of this very interesting year 2020. I'd like to thank all my club presidents, club officers, and members of Area 32 and Division F, District 81 for their support throughout the past couple of months so far as area director. Your support has been marvelous so far. As I begin my reflection, I must reflect upon one of my favorite songs, and part of it goes something like this. You may be familiar with the words, and then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. This song, Hero by Mariah Carey, is one of my all time favorites, and I was first introduced to it at my primary school graduation, where I was able to give what was probably my first public speech. Of course, back then I didn't know about Toastmasters, and I was nervous. I was worried. I was anxious that I would flop at that very big day. And it took some time to prepare my speech, to deliver my presentation, and it was met with, as if I recall correctly, a rousing round of applause. And I believe that was the beginning of my journey as a Toastmaster. As Lao Tzu says, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And that was my first step, if I recall correctly. Moving forward now, 20 years later, because that graduation was 20 years ago in the year 2000, I faced this year 2020 as most of us would, of course, with all our hopes and our dreams or plans for this new year, and not knowing that our world would be changed drastically with the coronavirus pandemic. Of course, for some of us, we have been able to make the transition more smoothly than others, and it has been a challenging year for members of Area 32. Interacting with members of my area, the shock, the change of meeting in person to adapting to meeting online. And while I myself may have been familiar with using Zoom over the past 3 years, a lot of persons now being introduced to this online platform, and it has been a big change for them. And one of the takeaways for this year, I actually enjoyed reading over this book, Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson, and it's a book that deals with our response to change. And rereading this book in 2020 has helped me to understand that the cheese is always moving, that our goals or targets are always moving. As my friend John Maxwell says, you write your plans in the sand, but you set your goals in concrete, meaning that always keep your vision, always keep your goals in mind. Our plans may change as the coronavirus has shown, but our goals must remain steadfast. And one of the takeaways for me this year has been to continue on my path using Toastmasters to develop my leadership and communication abilities. While we may have been moved from physical spaces to online spaces, it does not take away from the techniques, the joys, the experiences that we can have through Toastmasters. And another book which I reread this year was As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And it speaks about the power of the mind, the power of positive thinking, the power our thoughts have upon our outcomes in life. And our thoughts manifest into our habits shape our character, and our character shapes our destiny. And that has been another takeaway for me, which I want to encourage everyone watching, Toastmasters or otherwise, to remember that despite any changes we may experience in 2021 onwards, that our thoughts really shape our outcomes. And I want to encourage you, just as the characters in Who Moved My Cheese learn, that we must learn to adapt. We must continually assess our environment. We must use our tools and techniques and experiences and rely on each other to help each other throughout the new year. And as we go into 2021, I encourage everyone, if you can, if you're already a Toastmaster, continue to work the system because the system will work for you. If you're not a Toastmaster, still a great time to join. Even though we may only meet online right now, it's still a wonderful, one of the most cost effective, proven, internationally acclaimed methods of developing your communication and leadership skills, which are vital in an ever changing world. So, as I leave you and as we go into 2021, I encourage you to continue to be agile and don't be fragile because then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast all your fears aside and you know you will survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that the Toastmaster lies in you. Thank you, Madam Division Director.
Thank you, Jesse. I know that song. I love that song. And then a hero comes along.
I don't have the
God.
voice like you.
Lovely, lovely song. And you know, I liked where you talked about shaping your character. You know, when you shape your thoughts and all that, the outcome is always good, always good. And to keep in your mind, no matter what, to keep your mind on your goals. Okay. So that you know you could always keep, and those two books you talked about the song number one by Mariah Carey, and then you talked about Who Moved My Cheese
Yep,
by
yep.
Spencer Johnson. And I like the fact that you said that the cheese is always moving,
There's
you know,
always movement.
always moving. You don't put it there and it stays there. If the rattan come and move it, somebody else will move
Somebody will
it.
move it.
You
Somebody will move
understand?
it.
So you have to always keep going and keep focusing and remembering your goals. And I like that you're going to take that into 2021
Yes.
to develop your own skills, all right, and all the other Toastmasters for them to develop their skills as well, and by extension, invited others to come on board to develop their skills. You know, it's really, really a good way to go into 2021, right? Some people have been struggling with this virus and being indoors and all that, but to me, it has been in some ways a blessing in disguise. You know, all who couldn't come to meetings before, now they can come to meetings. So,
Yeah.
TM Jassy, I just really want to thank you so much for coming on this evening and sharing your thoughts with us, you know, on your reflection and how it has been for you and what the things that you would like to do going into 2020. So
Thank
thank
you
you
for
so
having
very
me.
much.
You have
I
a
know,
blessed
folks, same to you, same to you. I know, folks, that, you know, we're meeting again tomorrow. It's the 12 days of reflection into Christmas. We're meeting again tomorrow right here, same time, 6:30. I look forward to seeing all of you all. Just keep liking, sharing, and encouraging persons to go on. You can also tag into our Facebook, not only our Facebook page, but our YouTube page and see all the things that we've been doing thus far. So I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow when we'll have another special guest. Thank you.